Welcome to Filmmakers.
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 Hey, the filmmakers.
Journey.
Take your seat. The journey of a lifetime is about to begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a Filmmaker's Journey. And today we have a super special guest. We have the head supervisor of VFX at DreamWorks Animation, a Louisiana boy. His story is crazy, from Houma to Hollywood. Half of y'all probably don't even know what Houma is. But this episode is really special. I want to get this out as soon as possible. He gives some great advice, some great lessons, some great mindsets to take into this world of filmmaking. I know last week's episode had a couple of technical difficulties, and this week does too. I'm not gonna lie, I did bulk record these episodes, so the last 20 minutes his face cam does go out, but this is a podcast. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Tune in, sit down, get some popcorn, and learn from one of the best in the business. It's a very casual podcast.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're gonna talk some professional stuff, some big boy things.
Yeah, no sweat, man. So Warren, Camp. Your last name is Camp. That's why I was like, I just have Warren.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. I've been knowing you as Warren. So, well, this is the first time we're actually meeting.
First time we met. Crazy story. Connections are super weird. My sister got a random trip to Austria for free, and she ended up going. And funny about that is I was supposed to go to Austria the year before, but I ended up having like a botched surgery on my septum, so I couldn't go. So she ended up going to Austria, and then randomly meets you in the airport. What are the odds?
Yeah, that was and that was just a pretty funny story too, because I had just flown in. I had it like I probably got in there at like 5:30, and I was in the lounge in the morning. I was like the first person there, and so I had like the best seat, where I could put my computer and do my work, and because I was waiting for the next flight, which was several hours later. And then it got really, really crowded, and there was a couple that was sharing a chair next to me, and it was time for me to go. So I said, "Oh, I'm going to be leaving in a minute. You should take this, seat before, someone else grabs it." And so then we started talking, and is it your sister? It was your sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking to I think your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And then she came over, and we started talking, and we found out that we're all from, within 100 miles of each other.
Same state.
Yeah, same state. So it was really just for me growing up in South Louisiana to have this random occurrence happen in an airport in Austria that I was randomly at. Like that was just a layover. And so we got to talking, and obviously I think back to growing up and being from the South and all that stuff and my dreams. And it was kind of a weird moment for me because here I am, a Houma boy, like running into people from New Orleans,
Yeah.
in a random airport in Austria. So and where I was in Macedonia. So yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty
wow.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
small
for a
world, man.
project. Yeah, for a project.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that was literally the thing I was going to ask you first. Growing up, I've been living here for 20 years, and I think the only city I don't know someone from is Houma. But now I do, so I can check it off the list. I think I officially know
That's
one person
amazing.
from each city. But
Oh
just
my
tell me,
God.
what was it like growing up in Houma, man?
Well, I mean, Houma. So where in Louisiana are you? You're in New Orleans, or are you
So right now I live in Slidell. My
Slidell? Okay,
family's
yeah.
originally from Chalmette.
Well,
But yeah, right outside
Chalmette.
Louisville.
Okay, all right, great. Yeah, that's just good to know. Actually, I just someone I've worked with for a couple years now. I just found out he's from Slidell.
What?
So yeah. His
There
last
you
name
go.
is Maroney. He's a producer. Michael
Ah,
Maroney or
I think I
Marone.
know the
Marone.
Maronis.
Yeah, do you?
Is he kind of like tan?
No, he's kind of the opposite of that.
He's white?
He's super, yeah, he's super
Hmm.
pale.
Maybe I know your
He's
family.
probably, but I mean, he's in his 40s,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So,
He's a
we're,
producer?
he is an associate producer,
Oh,
at
nice.
DreamWorks. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Slidell.
but anyway, so yeah, growing up in that area, yeah, I mean, Houma, luckily, Houma is, for anyone who doesn't know, Houma is south west of New Orleans, if you can imagine that. It's
Yep.
a little like literally like the bottom of Louisiana, and the Gulf is right there, and it's you're like half hour from the Gulf. It's all marsh, and it's just gotten even more
Yeah.
marsh since I've left, man.
Swamp
Because
City.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good normal childhood growing up in the South, doing all the things that you do there, and luckily, I had New Orleans, that was just 55 miles away or something. So my parents grew up taking me to New Orleans pretty much you know, every month at least.
Yeah.
We were in the city all the time for
Go and eat.
eat,
Hit the
French
streetcar.
Quarter, City
Yeah.
Park, I mean,
I
Esplanade
love
Mall
City Park.
for shopping for clothes that had just opened when I was in high school.
Riverside?
So, yeah, whatever it's called now, Esplanade Mall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Um,
so growing up, right? So growing up in Houma, what kind of inspired your love for movies? Like, do you have specific
yeah, yeah,
childhood films or
yeah. I
what
mean,
was it?
my friends and I were, really creative, and we're into just making stuff, and, into, you know, just music and arts and all that kind of stuff. And we started playing around with Super 8 cameras. The film ones. This was obviously, again, I was born in 1970, so I'm 55.
Mm,
So that would have put me in the late 70s, early 80s is when I was really sort of, coming of age.
it's a great time to live, man.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like Back to the Future. Obviously, I saw that when that
You
came
got to
out,
see
and
Star Wars.
so I was 8 when Star Wars came out. Yeah, so that was obviously that's where it all begins.
I love
I
that
mean,
movie.
yeah, and I saw it for the first time on the day it opened, as an 8-year-old, and then
That's
saw it, I don't
awesome.
know, maybe 7 or 8 more times, while it was running.
I'm so
We
jealous,
just went to
dude.
it
I'm
all the
so
time.
jealous
Like,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, it was obviously so that was amazing. And so when you talk about movies and special effects, I mean, it's all right there.
I mean, you had the
And
Goonies.
and
You
then
had
Goonies,
peak
yeah,
cinema, bro. You
yeah,
had
Goonies, huge, yeah. Again, I was in high school at that point for Goonies, for Back
that's
to the
awesome.
Future, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I
Alien.
turned 16, and for my 16th birthday was that night. I saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my
I
gosh,
just made
that
that
is
realization just the other day. Actually, when you were talking about movies,
that
I
is
said, "Wait a
awesome,
second!" And
dude.
I had this crazy 16th birthday that I could never share on camera, but it was pretty amazing and
Oh,
epic.
okay.
So having Ferris Bueller as that as like, yeah, it's
Wrap
pretty
it
cool.
all up. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Raiders of the
So,
Lost Ark.
best
So
action movie of all time.
E.T. Yeah,
E.T.
yeah,
Spielberg.
all of
You got
these. Yeah,
the rise of Spielberg.
Yeah, Spielberg. So Spielberg, and I work for DreamWorks, and I've had the pleasure of seeing Mr. Spielberg, but I've never actually met him. But he's around, and we see him,
Yeah,
and he does speeches from time to time. I've been at DreamWorks for 20 plus years, so
that's awesome. Yeah,
uh,
I just came back from Martha's Vineyard. I went there for a couple of days and I got to
yeah.
see like the Jaws tour. They were doing everything. It was the 50th
Oh yeah,
anniversary.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
and I just read this book, the like the director's log, or where Carl Gottlieb, he's one of the writers, and he logged it, and he was talking about the whole time how Martha's Vineyard was trying to get him out, and they didn't want him to film here. They were doing this to the set, that to the set. Now, when you go, you can't walk into a restaurant and they're not playing the movie. So it's just
yeah,
crazy how that kind of
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
works.
Totally funny
But
how that
yeah,
works.
so tell us. I know you were talking to me earlier. I want the people to know before you even went to film school or any of that. You have the story about when the Pope came down to New Orleans.
Yeah, well, okay, so back to how I started. It was Super 8s. We would do I was told my first concert was Kiss in the Superdome
Mm.
with makeup for Mardi Gras night 1983. It was like huge, but I was totally into that stuff and making clay stuff, and so we would make these little Kiss figures, and then we'd do like little stop motion movies of these clay
Ah,
figures, and we'd use like fire, and we'd light matches and fireworks and stuff like that for
that's
our little
awesome.
thing. So that's how. So the fact that I did that kind of stuff and now I do it for real is, that was like when I
Yeah,
was like 10 years old. It was a circuitous route to get here, but it was always in the back of my mind that that's what I was interested in doing. It was either music or working on on movies or television.
Mm.
And I was, in high school at Terrebonne High. Go Tigers!
Go Tigers.
And I'm looking to get out of South Louisiana. Honestly, I was looking
Yeah.
to be in New York, or New York was where I originally wanted to go. So I was looking for colleges, and I didn't have. I mean, I was probably a B student. I wasn't like a straight A student.
Mhm.
I was involved in a lot of I was president of class and student council and all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
But I was still looking for other types of experience to help me get into other colleges. And I found WLAE and contacted them to see if I could do an internship with them. And so I did that. They're a public station in New Orleans
Yep.
that's associated with the Catholic Church. I can't remember how, but they're on the grounds of where the compound is. And
Yeah, it's something like that.
yeah,
I know what
and
you're talking about.
yeah, so I then would drive in from Houma. I was 16, 17.
Yeah.
I drive over the Luling Bridge, come around, and hit there, and I originally started doing just helping them with sets and building sets, and then I'm seeing all these cameras and how they're doing all that, and that just blew me away. And going into the control room and seeing, how the control room looks, and when they're running shows and they're going to different cameras and all that stuff. So, this was only over a few months, but when you're that age, it seems like a really long time.
Yeah.
And but in that time, I then got to do camera work. And my friends and I, after Super 8, we had, my friend's dad was a doctor, and he got one of those first VHS recordings that you had like the backpack and big
Hmm.
camera, and so we used that to make videos. So we would always make these hilarious videos. It was like the first wave of what everyone's doing now,
Yeah.
seriously.
That's awesome.
And we were fortunate enough to have one of those cameras, but you couldn't edit it. You would, so everything is, kind of, you're putting it in. 'Cause it's all linear for video. But
Yeah.
I did camera work with them at WLAE, and then the Pope was coming to town. It was a big deal, and he was staying on that campus.
Was.
And this was John Paul II, and
It's my
uh,
school.
oh, is it?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
where I
that's
went to
funny.
school.
Oh,
PJP.
there you go.
Go
So
Jags.
yeah, so I got the privilege of being a camera guy.
That is
Um,
awesome.
for while he was there, and we had to go through all this Secret Service. And once we came in, we had to sleep there and stay there. We could never leave the compound for security purposes.
Mm.
But it was huge. But everything, he would come out, he would do speeches there. He would get in his motorcade and go to, like the Superdome, or out to, I can't, it was some out near Lake Pontchartrain. But this particular day, of course, it freaking poured rain.
Oh yeah.
So I was the lone cameraman for this guy when he was coming out to get into his motorcade to go deal with that, and then he did the whole thing for the camera. So it's like
Whoa,
he
you got
literally
blessed by the
lets me.
Pope. That is
And
crazy. You got
I'm
blessed
not
by the
even
Pope.
Catholic, and
Yeah.
so all my friends down there, they all are.
Super
So they're like,
jealous,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah, leave it to the Protestant kid to get
Exactly.
blessed
I
by
was
the
in the
Pope.
same boat, brother. That's
Yeah,
funny.
so yeah, pretty funny.
So that
But
must have been your senior year, huh?
that was going into my senior year. Yeah,
Got it.
87. Yeah. And then that got me all of that experience and stuff, for any of you people who, aren't, straight A students or whatever, there are a lot of things people are looking for, and it's not just grades.
Yeah.
And so it's good to get a round experience and take your time to do things, in your community that you might be interested in, to get involved in this stuff. And now you guys all have, I mean, anyone can make a movie. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's no
So I'm
regards.
jealous of all of you. Yeah, yeah, honestly, because
iPhones are getting
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
good
No,
now.
literally. Jamie Terrio, my buddy from Homa, just texted me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Home
it was his
boy.
birthday. Shout out to Jamie.
Happy birthday to
Uh,
Jamie. Hey, let's get into after that happened, right? Senior year. Did you know you were going to film school? Where'd you go?
no, I didn't actually, and I was leaning, I think, more to television after the experience there. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
thinking that's why I was really like focused on. I went to Fordham University in the Bronx,
Mm-hmm.
and New York is a big television area.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking. And but Fordham is more of a liberal arts. It's a Jesuit
Hmm.
college. Again, another Catholic thing that I'm not even involved in. But I
No, that
went there
makes sense.
for,
But
yeah,
yep.
beautiful, beautiful place, great college. It's a liberal arts school. I got a bachelor's of arts in communications with an emphasis in film. So it wasn't like
Nice.
film school. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was liberal arts, which again is another well-rounded thing because I learned a ton that helped me to do what I do now. Um, Multitasking and stress management and stuff like that. I learned all of that at college.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I forgot to even mention you're the visual effects supervisor at DreamWorks, one of the biggest production companies ever. I wanted to ask you what does that role like? What does your job really entail? Like, what do you? If you could explain it simply to the people, like what do you specifically do?
the VFX soup of an animation movie is responsible for setting up the pipeline and all the pieces and making all the decisions of how we're going to make the project. And we work with the production designer and help give them ideas for how we're going to take what that they're dreaming up and how we're going to turn that into reality. And then how you're going to use the existing software, how you're going to what tools you're going to use to model all
Got
that
it.
stuff. But I mean, at DreamWorks, there's a big pipeline for that. So you're picking different little levels of that.
So you're
But
kind of
you're
the head over all the animators.
not. I'm not. See, animation is very, very specific, and so it's broken down into like compartments. And I
Got
was
it.
not an animator. My route had been compositing and lighting. So
Yeah.
that my background is that. So I started off in doing like Contact, Harry Potter, uh, the Stuart Littles. I think James and the Giant Peach. I was a compositor. I was a compositing supervisor for those movies.
So
And then
you like the digitalized images?
that's what you do as a lighter, as a 3D
Got it.
lighter. And so originally I was in compositing. I was dealing with compositing on special effects movies. So it's live action shot, and you're mixing thing in, and you'd be getting stuff from the 3D department and mixing that in. And then at some point, we just made that incorporated the compositors to do all the lighting as well because it just made sense. We're
Hmm.
building these images.
So
So then,
how did you get into that? Like how
well,
do
again,
you
there was no school. I mean, honestly, all like
exactly what I was
getting
thinking.
to there is the most craziest story. Like it. So I mean, if I could walk you through how I did that,
Yeah.
I'll try to do it as fast and simple as I can. So I
Okay, take
I
your time, man.
I went to Fordham. I
Yep.
met a bunch of people at Fordham. They're
Yep.
obviously your friends. You hang out with them. You meet their friends. You meet their friends. You meet their friends, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're all these people. And when you're going to different places, you're meeting them. And it's very important if you are able to be social, to maintain that little connection in some way. It makes a big
Connections, baby.
difference. Yeah, so anyway, I flew out to LA. While in New York, I did I was a PA. I got a job in Manhattan, working for a small company called Kaufman Films. They
Hmm.
were making an independent movie, and that was the one that I went in with the suit. And because I tried public relations and marketing, and it was amazing to take a train and be in the city and work with that. And it was incredible. Like anyone who doesn't take advantage of internships, wherever you are, you're missing out. You got to do it. Because then you find out what you like and what you don't.
Exactly.
And it builds up stuff
100%.
for your resume so that it shows that you're looking for stuff. Like Warren, what you're doing right now is fantastic.
Thank you.
You're ahead of the curve. So
Yes, sir.
but I went into that interview in a suit and tie, and the guy asked me all these questions, and I told him my history, what I'd done. The Pope thing was just 2 years before that, So he's like, yeah, yeah, you got the job. You just have to promise me one thing. I never see you wear a shirt, a tie, and a suit again.
That's
And
crazy.
I've pretty much lived up to that. I don't wear those items
What
pretty
about
much ever.
weddings?
Well, then, yeah, that's
Okay.
that's the exception.
Okay, got it. I was
Special
about to say if I
occasions,
invite you
but
to
not
my
for
wedding,
work.
if I
Yeah.
invite you to my wedding, I want you to pull up in a Hawaiian shirt, man. I want to see the Lilo and Stitch.
Uh, could happen.
Yeah. So yeah, you use your connections. You got
Use
your
your
way there.
connections. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
so then I do a trip for graduation to the Bay Area in San Francisco for a bunch of dead shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hung up with met a bunch of people there, and my friend's brother was in town, and he says, "Why don't you come down to L.A.?" So I went down to L.A. and again, this is maybe a week after graduation. And I'm wanting to now I know I'm going to be I want to be in film. I want to make movies. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I want to do. That's when I decided that in college. I mean, I
Got it.
always grew up doing it, but um, anyway, so he says, well, why don't you, we need a new roommate. Why don't you just move in with us? So I flew back I was living in Connecticut at that point, and I flew back to Connecticut and packed up a car, bought a car, and drove out to LA right away. And then I just started hitting the pavement. And it was
Yeah.
really, really, really tough. It's really tough when you start out, even with all that experience that I had at that age in New York. All those connections were in New York. So it was
Started from
just
ground
it was just
zero.
writing on a paper,
Yeah.
so and again, then we didn't have internet, so you're having to like buy these books with names of addresses that you're literally mailing letters. It was terrible,
That's
it's just
crazy,
like,
man.
yeah, it's crazy.
I know in an industry where everything's so gate kept as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I would literally drive by these places and be like, if I could just get in those gates, like
Oh yeah.
literally, I mean, literally was what I was doing that first year. But so what I did was I had to do these really terrible jobs, telemarketing jobs,
Mm.
and but I needed to stay connected, so I started volunteering for grad student films through UCLA.
Oh, okay.
And
That's smart.
yes, yeah, and so I did that, and I worked on a production, and I learned being on set, and I did that, and then I ended up having a relationship with the director, and I then took over editing. So I had a big flatbed. This is again when we were working on the film,
Yeah.
and so I had a flatbed in my apartment, and I was cutting film while I was learning computer graphic stuff during the day because I was, at that point, it had been maybe another year. These things take a really long time. But so anyway, it was basically my best friend from college's brother got me out here by asking for, if I wanted a room. And then my other college friend's high school friend was out here in LA. And so I met him immediately and we became friends and started hanging out. And maybe 8 months after moving out here, he calls me, Mike Pryor, a big producer here now.
Uh-huh.
And he went to Emerson. Um,
That name
which is
sounds
very,
familiar.
very connected here in LA. Emerson, I met lots of people
Yeah.
from Emerson.
That's what I've heard. That's kind of
So
like the
Emerson has
sleeper
done a
LA school.
fantastic job marketing, marrying their relationship with Hollywood for sure.
Mm.
But anyway, so he was working on Super Mario Brothers. So this would have been in like 1992,
The old one?
93. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
A-
awesome.
And he called me. He said, I do this. I bring my stuff to, he was a runner. You running stuff back to
Yep.
everywhere, all over Hollywood.
Coffees, etc.
Yeah, getting in the car, driving across town, drop something off, pick film up, bring it to the lab to then,
Yep.
or bring it to be scanned. And so he says this company that is doing the digital scanning, which was owned by Kodak, it was like the first company here
Whoa.
in Hollywood. They need a runner, and I can't take the job. You want it? I was like, yeah, of course. He's like, all right, I'm going to send you Mitzi's name and all this information. And that's how I landed my first job. Obviously I went there, I interviewed, and I was doing all this stuff. I was working on that student film. I was editing. I was really hungry, like you. You
Mm.
really have to go for it. No one's giving you anything, so you have to do that. As a person who's trying to make your path, no one's giving that to you. So you have to be optimistic, and you have to make your opportunities, and you take them even when they're the smallest possible opportunity.
And don't build and don't burn bridges either.
No, no,
Think about it.
never,
You had a little
never.
petty argument with this guy at the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
would never
yeah.
ask
Oh,
you
I
to
have,
do that.
yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's awesome.
So then I'm in there as a runner at
Hmm.
this computer company. I've never hardly even used a computer.
Yeah.
This is 1990. I started there in 93, January 93. And we were doing the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs restoration. That's when I got hired.
Um.
That was you're hired by project.
Yeah.
So the project pays for your position, and that was my position. So you're on the length of that project unless you get moved on to the next project, or if you get brought into some other thing that's more part of the company. But anyway, so I was a runner. I did all of that. That's how I learned my way around Hollywood. This is before you could have a wonderful map that told you everywhere to go. You had these
Yep.
big binders of books where you'd go page to page. Thomas Guide.
That's
Um,
crazy, dude.
yeah, it was
I
crazy,
can't even imagine that.
but I learned all the best routes, and all of these apps have fucked them all up. So it's like,
Hey, you know, like the back of your hand, though,
yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Running all
totally,
the
yeah,
same
totally,
routes.
yeah. All the hidden routes and stuff. But yeah, so then after that, I while I was doing that, I started. Someone got promoted, and they needed the PA, and so I got
Yeah.
moved into that slot, and then I'm doing the dailies for the artists. Where I'm back then, you would literally have film and put it through the projector and project it to watch your work. It had to go to the lab and be
Yep.
projected, and had to
Get
be
scanned,
scanned,
get
and
copied.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it was yeah. And so then you had to cut the loops together, and you'd have to have these giant loops that you're trying to manage. And you're PA, you're just starting, and you got all these. The guy that was running the company. Uh, Ed Jones he just won an Oscar for Roger Rabbit, and
Yeah.
all this stuff. Like, and so I'm just a kid, and I'm like freaking out that I'm going to mess up, and of course you do. Like
Yeah, of
you
course.
munge that film, it goes to the projector and gets burned up, and it just happens. But not
Yep.
anymore. But I mean, all these mistakes happen. You're going to make these mistakes, but you keep meeting people, and you start figuring out what it is that you like. You know,
Exactly. That's what I was
and
going to ask you.
I'm
Is
an
there
artist,
is
right?
there a
So
specific project that you worked on that you actually got to do what you do now for the first time? Was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Well, I mean, that immediately. I mean, that was the first one. That Snow White. Like,
Uh
I mean,
huh.
you take advantage of the opportunity that you get, right? So I meet all these people there. They start helping you out. You start meeting the artists. I'm working as a production person.
Yeah.
You have two sides. You got the production side, and you got all the people who are physically making the work.
Hmm.
And I gravitated to the people who were physically making the work. I mean, obviously
Right.
it's digitally,
Yeah.
but that's what I do. I was really interested in that stuff, so I started doing that on the side at night. The artist would show me how to use their tools, and then at night, because the place it was pretty much 24 hours. I would find an open box and learn how to use it. And so then you're just building that up to
Hmm.
say that you're able to do that. Wasn't
Yeah.
able to do that on that particular project, but all showing these people, Heather Baker, Kristen Tratner, Jim May, those three people are probably the most influential people to me. These are artists who work in the industry. Jim May's a big editor. Heather and Kristen's done something with restaurants now, but she was really, really important to me.
Yeah.
Um, uh, that was at Cinecite on Snow White, and that project ended, and then you lose your job, and then I'm back to like looking for a job again.
Yeah.
And then I'm
But the
doing more
difference
running.
the
Yeah,
difference is you just work these two jobs. You got
yes,
all these names. You got
exactly.
30 more
Yeah,
people to contact.
yes, and these are my friends now,
Exactly.
so I go out with
Don't burn
them, and
bridges.
yeah, exactly, and we hang out, and we socialize together. And so then Jim May, he's the leader of, because he's in the highest position. He's kind of the most seasoned veteran at that point of my friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes to DreamQuest, and DreamQuest doesn't exist anymore, but they won. They were a visual effects house, and they won Oscars for like The Abyss, and I mean just all this stuff kind of before computer graphics, but they
Mm-hmm.
were getting into computer graphics and they needed someone. And so he went over there as an editor for this stuff, and he gave them my name. And that's how I then got my next job at DreamQuest.
Nice.
And then from DreamQuest, I then faked it until I knew it. I'm like trying to learn all this programming because I'm now in that side, the art side, which is doing a lot of. There's menial work like tape ops and loading things for artists and all that stuff. It's called like technical assistant work, and that's what I was doing. Um, and I had this great guy who was my CG suit, Patrice Denut, who uh, was also a professor at Berkeley at one time in computer graphics. And he saw me struggling and walked up to me one day with a pile of books and dropped them on my desk. And he says, I like your energy. You go get it. Here are a bunch of books. You got this. So,
Nice.
like, I mean, it was amazing. It was just amazing. Like, these are the little things people do, for you.
Yeah.
As you show them that you're, wanting to be part of their world and their team and help them. Um, so again, I did that, and then that job ended, and I got hooked up with Sony Pictures ImageWorks, which was just starting at that time. So I was one of the early beginners over there, and I went over there as like the lead technical assistant. So here I am,
Nice.
just making these little steps, little
Stepping
steps,
up.
with the goal that you're wanting to be the artist. So then I
Exactly.
go there, I'm the lead, I plan it out, I'll be the lead, I'll set this stuff up, and then my friends from Cinesite, Heather, she was there at Cinesite, and so she was, and Kristen, again, and Jim, all of them, they were all there. Again, it's a tribe. You start getting on these projects and you work with the same period for chunks. And anyway, so I learned a lot from all of them. And then I was working on James. I did roto work on Die Hard with a Vengeance and some light compositing work.
That's awesome.
Uh, and that was all at the time. It's all practical effects. It's like shooting water and water tanks, and then taking that and taking the footage, and then rotoing all that stuff and pulling mats and putting all that together. And so I'm doing all of that, and Heather's showing me how to do all this stuff, and we do that, and then we get this amazing visual effects supervisor named Scott Anderson, who had just won an Oscar for Babe, and he had come over,
Wow.
and we'd gotten James and the Giant Peach. So we were doing
Mhm. Classic.
it was the stop motion stuff that we were combining with the CG animation, and so all the stuff we did for that was all in the shark stuff in the water, where James is floating on the peach and then flying, Um, so that's what we were doing. And so my job at that point was compositing. And then I did all the big composites for all the sharks, and Scott Anderson really, really pushed me, and Heather really pushed me. And I ended up with a lead credit on that show. And that was really like,
That's
lead
awesome.
compositor. Yeah. So again, now I'm just making these things, and then that puts me to be in the bid for the next, show as the lead compositor. And then I'm working with literally the father of like compositing, Ron Brinkman, who has literally written the book on compositing.
That's
Was my mentor. I mean,
that
he
is
was the
awesome.
guy.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so I just have to take these moments. I don't know what you're going to use, but I got to throw these names out because they were so influential to me, and I don't see them or talk to them that often. Right? I haven't talked to them in years, but I think about them all the time now. So
Yeah.
yeah. So then I'm on Contact, and I'm the compositing supervisor on this big Zemeckis movie and we're doing this. You know, I did all the rings destruction. That was my chunk that I was the supervisor for. When I don't know if you've seen the movie, but there's this big explosion and all that's of course is all CG. And
Yeah.
and then I was a compositing supervisor for Godzilla, the early one with Matthew Broderick.
Yep.
Um, I was a soup for that, and so that's compositing all practical flames on CG models and practical shots of buildings, and then integrating Godzilla, and you know, it's crazy
Dude,
stuff. Yeah,
you
and
integrated Godzilla.
yeah, yeah. It's
That
so
is
much fun. It's
crazy.
so much fun. And again, this is just some hit from Homa. I just ended up here. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't, you know,
From
I like
Houma to
it's
Godzilla.
yeah.
You
It
need to
was
write a book.
yeah, it's crazy.
I hope
Yeah.
your kids appreciate that one day when you show them Godzilla and you're like, I did that. And it just,
Yeah. Well, my kids are, you know, now I have a 25-year-old who's in the industry now. So,
oh, hey,
yeah, she went to
you did your
Berkeley,
job.
and yeah, and
What's
my
she doing?
23-year-old, she's on the production side,
Okay.
and she's doing a lot of ride production stuff. That's
Um,
a big thing now as well. As movies are,
what
you
is
know,
that ride?
no, just like for all the ride projects at like Universal and
Oh,
Disney,
okay.
and you know, everything's integrated now, with special, you know, visual effects, and see, it's all
Nice.
CG, you know, a
Yeah.
lot of these things. If you go to Universal Theater Studios, most of those rides are, you know, computer graphics.
Oh, the
Uh,
actual ride.
yeah, the rides,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that meant something. I was like,
Oh, no, no, no,
I
no,
thought you meant
like a
ride, but I
ride
wasn't
film.
sure.
Yeah, no, we
That's
call them ride films.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's stories now. It's
yeah,
not just
yeah,
a roller coaster. It got a whole
yeah,
everything to it. Even just
yeah,
walking in the lobby there. Have you ever
yeah.
been to Disney World in Orlando?
No, I never went, but I've been to Disneyland more times, so many times that now I don't go.
Yeah. Well, there's this Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster, and like you're walking through, or I guess they have it at Disneyland, the Star Wars Rise of
Yeah, yeah,
Resistance. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's just incredible.
yeah. So she's her company does movies, and then also those kinds of projects as well.
That's awesome.
All of the ones here are doing that now. But
Yeah.
like and then like now the Sphere, you know, all of these big projects, like
Yeah, I live
is
my in my
amazing.
backyard. I see the
Yeah,
sphere.
yeah. I want to go see the I'm gonna be passing through there in October, and I think I'm gonna go see the Wizard of Oz.
Hey, I'm
Looks like
down to
it's gonna be
come.
amazing.
Let me
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm
I love the
my
Wizard of Oz.
23-year-old, and we're doing a drive
Ah,
to Moab.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
but I'm thinking about stopping there. So yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I wanted to ask you this really super deep and important question.
Yeah.
Um, you're on an airplane and it's going down. You can only grab one movie to take with you on that island. What movie are you taking?
Oof. I didn't see that one on the.
You can only take one movie. The plane's going down. You have to watch it for the rest of your life. What movie is it? Come
Can
on,
it
I know it's
can it be
hard.
Kill Bill 1 and 2? Can it be both, one
No,
and two?
no cop outs, just one.
All right, two.
Don't cheat
Kill
me.
Bill
Kill
2.
Bill 2?
Yeah,
I've seen Kill Bill 1. I've never seen her Kill Bill. I
yeah.
haven't seen the
Well,
second one.
you got to see it.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
great.
like I have to watch it
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I mean, you know, Tarantino coming into L.A. I lived in Silver Lake, in Echo Park, and that's a big in the '90s. That was a rundown area.
Uh-huh.
Now it's a hip community. But that's where a lot of those movies were made by Tarantino. So that's my neighborhood, you know. So I watch
Nice.
all of those movies and just see my history. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So
So, so
but that's not related to animation at all. But obviously, you know, I'm a
yeah,
movie
no.
lover. Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't like it doesn't matter what job you're working, even if you're not in the industry. I mean, the love for movies is so universal. I feel like media, like when it comes to movies and films and TV shows, I feel like that's the most universally loved thing.
yeah,
Like I've never met anyone that's like, I'm not really into movies. Like I don't really
yeah,
like
yeah.
movies. Where
Yeah, but
there's like people say that to music and art and stuff like that, but like everybody can watch a good movie.
yeah. And as a career, I made the choice. I started doing like Harry Potter and all that stuff, and I realized that the movies that I really like, because I did Hollow Man and a bunch of other,
Hmm.
but it's always the kids' movies because when I was a kid, Spielberg, all of that stuff. That's what I was into, and so I wanted to make those kind of movies. So that's how I ended up gearing my career into animation. But again, I mean, on Stuart Little, I worked with John Dykstra, who's got, worked on Star Wars. He's got an Oscar.
That's
Ken Ralston, Star Wars. I mean, he's got nine. He's got nine Oscars. These guys, taught me so much, so much. And you take all of that information and you store it and you live with it and you use it. And I pull
yeah.
all of these experiences up now, like I just finished Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie,
Hmm.
which is DreamWorks' first fully integrated hybrid live action CG movie. And so I
Ah,
was able to combine my 10 years of visual effects with my 20 years of animation to make this movie. And it was
that's awesome.
a highlight. Um, it was a big, big challenge and big rewards to
Yeah,
make this movie and to guide our team. And this one, that's how I was traveling because we were working internationally with crews. And that's how I met your sister.
that's
Um,
awesome. Yeah, I was just about to ask you. You're at DreamWorks now. Do you have, even if you worked on it or not, do you have a specific favorite DreamWorks movie?
my favorite DreamWorks movie is the movie that I'm working on. It always has to be your favorite.
Mm,
What you're working on needs to be your favorite.
yeah, for
Just
sure.
because that's you don't know if
100% invested.
yes, 100% invested.
Eat, sleep, breathe.
I mean, this is a perfect example. Gabby's Dollhouse, they pitched it to me. I know that I see the Netflix show. I'm like, and they're like, well, we want you to make it something else, you
Mm,
know? So then I then join up with the director and the production designer, and regardless of what this budget is, I have an idea of how we're going to make this movie. And so that's how you set it out, and so you strive to make that movie, regardless of what it is, you make it into something so much more. So
yeah.
you have to be 100% invested in what you do, and no one wants to hear you complain.
Nope.
So
'Cause
if
there's
you're
somebody
on
else
set
that's
and you're
gonna
not
do it.
happy, right, exactly. There's a million other people that love to be in your position. So,
100%.
and you think you know everything, when you're coming up, but you have to be really careful about when you apply your ideas and how you do that because you can really come off as,
Mm-hmm.
a know-it-all too early. You want to
Yeah.
be a part of the team. Obviously, everyone has the ability to learn all of this stuff now and use all of this stuff, but there still is a hierarchy that you have to work within and balance that. Otherwise you don't gain the trust, for the people that you're working with. And
Yeah.
you want, like I said, with the crews, now I have all these people that I've worked with around the world who I just love, and I love working with them, and I loved, making them excited because most of
Yeah.
the people on the last two projects I worked on had been working in television and not working on a film project, and there's a difference in quality and how that works. And so they've always wanted to do that. So it was my job to really, get them excited about the project and let them make decisions and be involved with bringing ideas to the table, because that's how you get the best out of everyone that you work with.
Well,
They're
it,
just
it
always
really
doing that.
does. It warms my heart. It makes me excited. I'm so ready to get into it. The way that you, I mean, there's not. I'm so glad they have people like you in Hollywood still. Yeah,
There,
they're excited
there are
about the
everyone.
project.
That,
Want everyone
yeah,
else to be in their peak happiness. Let's have fun with this thing. Let's make it better. Let's make it the best as we can, and just treating
yes,
other people the right way. It's just
yeah.
awesome.
It's really important. And
No suit,
that,
no
that
tie.
no suit, no tie. Yeah, and
Just a good time.
yeah.
Did you work on Wild Robot?
I did not. I was working on Orion in the Dark, which we won an
Oh,
Emmy
okay.
for. I won an Emmy for that.
Oh,
So, well,
congrats,
not
Emmy winner.
not
Put that in the
personally,
title.
but us as a show won an Emmy for best animated special production
Oh, nice.
for Orion in the Dark. So, I honestly, if I were to say favorite right now, that is it. Orion in the Dark.
Oh, I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's really, really a great film. It's not your standard animated movie. It's pretty deep, and it's dark, and that's what I like. So it was really fun to make something dark and
Yeah.
bring that magic. So yeah, that was a really fun project.
Well, I want to ask you this too. You ever heard of the social media, the Letterbox, the app Letterbox?
No.
It's so basically it's really big right now. It's like this movie rating system pretty much. And like you watch a movie, you say what you thought about it, you rate 1 through 5 stars. And everyone kind of has a profile. You kind of keep up with what your friends are watching and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But what's specific about it is everyone's profile, they have 4 movies that kind of show what their 4 favorite movies of all time. It could be 4 movies that kind of just tell about who they are and who they have as a film taste. So I just want to ask you, if you had 4 movies to put on your profile, what movies would those be? Just 4.
That's so hard.
It's hard. Just
I mean,
top
I'm
of your
not gonna. I'm
head.
not. Well, okay. I've already wasted Kill Bill 1 and
Yeah, let's
2,
not count
so I
that.
won't
Yeah,
count
you got that.
those. Uh, well, I mean, Star Wars. I mean, that's got to be.
Good answer.
Yeah.
That's my number one.
Um, probably E.T. Probably E.T.
E.T. Great answer.
I mean, again, I have to go back to the movies that put me in a position
Oh
to
no,
be where I
100%.
am.
Yeah.
Um, any John Hughes movie. I mean, John Hughes, I think, is really underappreciated. Um, his movies are amazing. Um, yeah, so probably Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't ever turn that off.
No.
Anytime that's on.
One
Uh,
more. Finish strong. Give us a DreamWorks.
a DreamWorks. I mean, a DreamWorks for me right now would have to be Orion in the Dark.
Got it.
All the ones that I've done, Shrek, all that stuff. For me, it's for what I went through for that and what that movie is. It's Orion in the Dark.
Yeah, obviously it's personal
It's
to
a
you.
personal
Every time
thing.
you watch it, you're gonna feel all those feelings,
That
and you're
yeah,
gonna
and
make
that one will
you.
be like for me. And if you talk about careers, it's like Stuart Little, Harry Potter, James the Giant Peach, Kung Fu Panda 2.
I
Um,
love Kung Fu. Kung Fu Panda 2 is great.
yeah, yeah, that was
The
great.
whole the whole parent storyline and the villain. Who who
Yeah.
who voiced that villain again? Who voiced Shen?
Gary Oldman, I
Yeah,
think, right? And
yeah.
and that was my main thing was the peacock. That was that the look development
Whoa.
for the peacock, and most of the sequences that I dealt with were the big heavy
With
intensive
the
ones with him.
feathers shooting
With the
everywhere and
feathers,
spinning
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
It
my
was a
gosh, it's
real
awesome.
nightmare at the time. But yeah, and that team was just amazing. My production designer Ramon Zivak, he did Wild Robot. He's the production
Right.
designer of Wild Robot.
I love Wild
So
Robot.
yeah, so he
Oh,
is
Wild
like
Robot was great.
at DreamWorks. He's the guy. I just love so much. Obviously I love everyone at DreamWorks.
Yeah.
But I learned a ton from Ramon on KFP2. He taught me so much. Again, there are too many people out there that I'm even can't even name.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That are just names to most people, but they're very important to people in
It helps shape you
my
who you are today.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Well, I wanted to ask, it's been going great so far. I really appreciate you coming
yeah,
on.
yeah, and if you need more, whatever, I'm in no. That's why I did this time, and thank you for changing it
No, no,
because
for sure.
yesterday turned out to be a nightmare.
Oh no,
So
we'll
that
talk
that
about that after.
yeah,
Um, So yeah, I started this podcast kind of just to, inspire the younger filmmakers out there and kind of join my journey as I'm getting into this industry and learning all these things. So I wanted to end it off just with a couple questions I came up with. Some of my friends sent in. I have a lot of editor friends that are super excited I'm talking to you today. Um, but yeah, I just want to ask a couple just advice questions for the
Yeah,
filmmakers trying to get into
absolutely.
everything.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
So first thing I want to ask you, um, for like an indie filmmaker that with no budget, they want to get into animation, they want to make an animated short film, right? What's your advice for to use VFX smartly?
So, are we talking live action VFX stuff? Well, it's
Yeah,
now it's pretty easy, man. I mean, honestly, I mean, the main thing you got to do is you can't do it all, okay? And so you
exactly.
got to find people who believe in your project. So that's number one.
Hmm.
You got to find those people to help you because you're not going to be able to do it all, or it will you know it'll take 20 years.
Yeah,
So you need to bring in people who are specialize in areas. Um, but now it's pretty easy. I mean, you can off the shelf stuff. Shit, I mean, you can use stock footage.
like
And
footage,
I do
AI,
on
like
yeah,
so
no,
much.
seriously. Stock footage. I use stock footage on Gabby's. It's supposed to take place in San Francisco. We were never in San Francisco. I shot in Vancouver. I was there for 7 weeks shooting that. And and then I used stock footage and I literally digitally replaced and added stuff.
That's
Complete I
awesome.
almost just use them as templates. There'll be a shot
Mm.
of like the Golden Gate Bridge, which is
Hmm.
really you'll see it in the trailer. You can see it now. It's all CG. It's we changed the bridge, but it originally was that plate, and I just used the motion for that to create that as the, and then I recreated, digitally painted the matte painting, and we had not me personally, but Pam and her team did that, and so I did that for a lot of shots. Now you can After Effects for really basic 2D type stuff, but then there's
Yeah,
Blender free
Blender's
off
free.
the yeah blend I mean the animated movie this year was it Flow
Yeah, the cat.
$4 million, yeah, all off the shelf shared software.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's insane, so it can be done, it's just not easy.
So as a direct, I want to be a director, right? So as a director, what should we know before we shoot a V? I don't know why I can't say that. What should a director know before they shoot like a effects scene?
Well, you everything is about planning.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously you got to plan everything way in advance. You got to think about how you're going to do it. And if you're doing anything that's visual effects intensive, you should definitely have someone who's your supervisor to
yeah.
guide you through that.
Guy like
Because that,
you.
yeah, but I'm sure there's a guy like me who's out of school. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I mean, now everyone there's schools for this. So
crazy.
Ringling, and I mean, there's just a ton. Uh, so they're out there and they could help you. But for visual effects, I mean, now with LiDAR and technology like that, I can literally rebuild this whole area I'm in right now just with
Yeah,
this with my phone, almost with my
literally.
phone, literally.
That's
Like, you
crazy.
just have to know how to do it, you take that stuff and you scan it, you shoot everything for photogrammetry, and then that stuff gets projected back on the stuff, and then that's what we do.
Mm.
I learned so much on this film that there are things that I would do differently, live action wise, now, that I would spend more time setting it up to do that more digitally, because I spent more time trying to fix things that we shot, than it I needed to, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, the next project you're gonna be better, and the next project you're gonna be better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
gonna
You learn from
just like that.
everything, and yeah, the big thing for this one was working in HDR. I mastered that in HDR, which is when you see this on your television and stuff when it comes out there.
Mm.
And you're gonna see it on the theater. It'll be in the theaters everywhere. It looks amazing, but it's like next level when you see it. Um, through
Nice.
HDR. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. And you use that as a tool. Again, just like everything else, just like story, lighting, that's a tool that you use to bring that up and down as the detail and the brightness and stuff that you get in HDR. Yeah.
Well, a couple more questions because my phone
Yeah.
is about to die. Uh,
Okay.
but what do you look for in when you're looking for a new VFX team member or artist? Like what are some of the things you look for?
I look, there's always three things you're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
me. Um, that's depending on their roles, and one, everyone has a stronger suit. I think of things like baseball team, and shout out to your hat there. That's my team. That's right. And
Upside down, not
yeah,
out of disrespect, just because I think it's cool.
I know that's the new style. I saw them all at the ballpark the other day.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but I think of things like managing baseball. And so everyone's got a role on a team, and everyone's got a specific place, and there's strengths and weaknesses, and you rely on everyone's ability because they're the people who are going to help you solve those problems. So you need people who are artistically strong,
Mm-hmm.
who are technically savvy,
Mm.
and who can communicate well. So
Whoa,
that's like the triangle. That's the three things that I'm always looking for. And the top
that's
triangle
awesome.
piece, it rotates
Yeah,
as to what their role is. But you need
exactly.
those three things. And so you have your production side, obviously, is the communication. But they have a ton of technical stuff now with all the software that they're using. Like I don't even know that stuff. Like when it comes to Excel and stuff, I'm an idiot, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses.
yeah, but when it
That's right.
comes to Nuke and Resolve and editing tools and 3D software like that, that's the stuff that I know. It's just everyone specify. It's just too much out there to get it all down. But those are the three things. You got to get
Nice.
along well with the people that you
You're
work with.
prepared on that one. That's awesome.
Well,
And the
that
last,
that's just a common thing in life for me
yeah,
now.
and that
Yeah,
could go to anything.
yeah.
But last thing I want to ask you, what's something you wish you knew before you before you got into this industry? One thing you could tell your younger self to maybe get you to the place you're at a little bit faster.
It's to take even more chances.
Mm.
I think I took chances, but I think I could have taken some bigger leaps here or there,
Mm-hmm.
gotten to a place faster. But it in life it's not just work. So as you get older, you have family and stuff, and that becomes important too. And then when
Yeah.
you have kids, you have to take different types of priorities. And so I'm in a stage in my career now that I have a 9-year-old, but I'm in a position now that I can manage that, my
Yeah.
time with my family's time. That's why I'm so busy.
Yeah.
Um, but when my older kids were younger, I didn't have that luxury, and I worked
Mm.
all the time. And when they got a little older, that's when I decided to make the shift to DreamWorks because I knew that I could have a little bit more of a steadier uh, job, as
Yeah.
far as not working, only working maybe 10 hours a day as opposed to like 15 hours a day, yeah, I mean, 100-hour weeks in visual effects were commonplace.
That's insane.
Yeah. So you have to balance that out, and I moved to Vancouver for an opportunity, so I've definitely done that. But then there are things where you just have to decide, well, I'm in a place these things I got to manage at home right now, you know. But I do think that just taking big risks, I think it's important. You can't be scared.
Can't be scared. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, your story has been so inspirational from Houma to Hollywood.
Homer to
Thank you.
Hollywood. That's good. I like that. That could be the book title.
I'm telling you, you should write a book. That would
Hit
be
from Homer
that.
to Hollywood.
That's the
Well, I
title.
have
Houma to
I have so
Hollywood.
many more better stories for a movie than
Yeah. I
my
mean,
career.
just thank you so much for coming on, dude. This has been awesome. This has been my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
episode. We got to
Great.
talk
Well,
again.
yeah, absolutely. And Scott McKee. I am on LinkedIn. That's the only
LinkedIn.
social media I do.
Yeah,
So
I want you to meet my editor, one of my close friends, Brian. He'd love to learn from you, but yeah, he was super excited about me
yeah,
coming
well,
to talk to you
yeah,
today.
well, we'll keep in touch, man. And again, M. Scott McKee on LinkedIn.
I'm
Feel free
Scott
to
McKee
hit
on
me up,
LinkedIn.
people. I don't know if I can get to everyone, but
Yeah,
I love reaching out to people. As I said to you, Warren, it was I don't know. I feel it's a little bit more coincidental than have this run in at this random airport at 7 in the morning or whatever time it was.
crazy.
And then your sister's like, "Oh, my brother's really interested in that." It's like, "Here, take this number."
That's
Because
awesome.
that's what I would have loved as a kid to have someone that,
Exactly. You got to give back
yeah, you have to give back. And
because that's
I'm a
just
mentor now, and I like that,
that's
give back.
awesome, man. Well, I really
So
appreciate you,
good
dude.
on you,
Let's talk
man. That's
soon.
right. Okay, sounds good.
Outro. See you guys later.